it's Nina for this video. I wanted to just chill out with you guys and just show you my bullet journal setup. It's Nina, and for this video, we're talking about bullet journals. This video has been highly requested for a very, very long time. Hello my friends, it's Nina and welcome to 2020. Today I wanted to show you my very simple bullet journal setup. Hello my friends, it's Nina and welcome to 2021. I'm going to set up my bullet journal for 2021. And also, maybe you're watching this in the future, maybe it's almost 2022, 2023, or you just want to set up a bullet journal and it's the middle of the year. That's also fine too. Let's try to plan our 2021 a little bit. Hello my friends. It's been too long. I also don't know how 5 years passed. Hello my friends, it's Nina and I have not journaled in 5 years apparently. But we're going to change that, I swear. So first things first, let's catch up. Hello, how are you? I have not filmed a horizontal video in a really long time. I've actually been very active on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, just filming a lot of short form content for you guys. But I am so excited to be back into long form. I am such a long form girl and I just feel fresh, a little brand new. And by brand new, just kind of going back to what I loved. Let's address the elephant in the room. I don't know if you noticed, but my hair is kind of short. It wasn't intentional. I did not mean for my hair to be this short, but the other day I cut off my hair. I just wanted the rest of my straight perm to be gone. If you didn't notice, I would have like this awkward straight hair right here. Decided to cut it off. It's spring, why not? It's a little shorter than I wanted, but that's okay. Hair always grows, just like the seasons always change. This is all my natural hair. No color, no perms or anything, and I am so happy. I am so back. We are so back. You know who else is back? BTS. BTS also made a comeback recently. Amazing, great. Posted some content about that as well. What else is there? It's spring officially. It's March, you guys. It's almost April. Also, I realized this is my first long form video of 2026, so hi! It's been a while. But we are so back. I have so much content planned for you guys. So first things first, we're gonna talk about journaling. So if you didn't know, I used to make a lot of journaling videos, but then I stopped. I think around maybe 5 years ago, I just stopped making journaling videos. I stopped journaling myself. And for some reason, 5 years have passed that I just navigated life without journaling. A huge part of my life was suddenly just gone. But I am happy to say that the past few months, since maybe the holidays, I have finally gotten back into journaling, and I just want to show you my ecosystem and just why I got back into it. I just have a few journals, planners for different purposes. First thing I'll talk about is this baby right here. This is my journal for the year. It's my diary, it's my sketchbook, it's my on-the-go planner. This goes with me pretty much anywhere if I'm carrying a big bag. This is from Shop ARL. It is my friend Amanda's brand. This is not a gift. I literally seek out Amanda's journals because they have the best paper. So as you can see, this is the, okay, you can't really see it. This is the dotted journal. It has a cute cherry on it and this beautiful red color. As you guys know, I am a pastels girl, but I don't know, something about this just drew me in. It's so gorgeous and I kind of like how bold it is. Sometimes you just need a little change in your life, and getting back into journaling was a big change for me in a lot of ways. A nice standard size, and the paper is so good. You can do gouache on this, watercolor, whatever markers, pens. The paper is just so good, and it's not too thick where it just feels like cardstock. It's a really sturdy paper, and I feel like junk journaling would be good in this. More intricate setups would be good on this. It'll definitely be able to hold a lot. Tape, glue, whatever you want. I will tend to keep this on my desk just laying right here so I can jot down whatever I want. But if I'm not using this, I am also a girl about convenience and efficiency, and so this is also my baby. It is so tiny. This is the Moleskine mini notebook. This can fit into any bag. This can fit into my everyday purse, even my purse for a night out. I can bring this literally anywhere. Even on days when I don't think I'm going to be too busy, I can just go to a cafe and write whatever I want in this. Something I've been trying to do for 2026 is be more analog. One of the reasons why I fell out of journaling is because honestly, things just became more digital. I just went to my notes app, all these different productivity apps, note-taking apps. I no longer longer felt the need for something analog, journaling on paper. And it took me a really long time to realize that that made me fall out of love with a lot of things. I no longer was going to stationery shops. I no longer was sketching, writing out my thoughts, but having something like this where I can just quickly jot my thoughts in without having to log into my Google account or having to wait for the Wi-Fi to be set up, all of that kind of stuff, without having to wait for that, I can just open this. I can jot out my thoughts so quickly. And that was just a simple, small, tiny human feeling that I forgot about. The fact that I just can have so much control doing whatever I want. I don't have to stick to certain lines. I don't have to open a new file. I don't have to wait for the cloud to load. Just going back into something analog was so grounding to me. It made me feel like a human again. And so I freaking love this. It's covered in stickers, just cute stickers everywhere, literally smaller than my hand. And this goes into any bag. That is the second product in my ecosystem. And then the final one that also changed everything for me is having a physical planner. Again, I just like to be able to write something down as soon as I want. I don't want to have to open a laptop, go through all these tabs or apps. And so I have a physical planner, and this one specifically is also from Shop ARL. Isn't she freaking gorgeous? We're kind of matching right now. But the reason why I have a physical planner, especially this one, is because another thing I really wanted to do is more hands-on activities. Again, essentially analog activities. And so this one just tackles a bunch of things that I wanted. Not only is this a planner, but it's also basically a coloring book. This is so relaxing. Just having the time to sit quietly, have no thoughts, and just color is so relaxing to me. And so I needed to incorporate another analog activity into my life. And so this doodle planner from Shop ARL, I can plan on paper if I don't feel like opening my laptop or if I just want to do it in a more tangible way. But it's also a freaking coloring book. Look at this. This is the setup that I had for March. I just had so much fun with the color palette. I went for a Lucky Charms kind of theme, and it was just so much fun. I took my time with it, and I brought out my mild liner markers. It also comes with habit trackers you can fill out, a tracker that you can make for anything that you want. Comes with lots of blank space for your thoughts if you want to. And then of course it comes with week layouts so you can plan your week. Another thing that I have is my materials. This is all I need when I'm on the go. This is the skinniest little pencil case, and it forces you to just carry the essentials without overdoing it. But I just carry a few markers, a few colored pens, a pencil, and my favorite pen. Starting off with the mild liners, I got these in Japan. At the time, I don't think they were released, or they were like a special release or something, but they are the Sanrio collab. I have a light blue, a pink, and a gray. These are just my favorite colors to journal with. And then I also have colored pens. These have colored ink. This is just so nice to write with. I have it in pink and purple. I got these in Korea. You can find these at any bookstore, stationery store. And then my favorite gel pen, this is the Pentel Energel Pen 04 tip. My friend introduced me to this. I will have everything linked down below if I can find it. But this is my go-to pen. I literally have used this since 2022 maybe. It has not failed me. I will always buy this pen. It's so easy to write with, and this is just standard black. I do have a pencil. This is a 0.5 pencil, mechanical. Next, I have the cutest whiteout, and it all fits just like that. Oh wait, by the way, I should show you some of my stickers. I also have a lot of stickers. Something else that brought me back into journaling was I had all these stickers that were just not being used, and what other better way is there to use your stickers than to journal? I got a lot of these on YesStyle, Japan, Korea. Just go to any stationery shop and take your time to just explore through the stickers. A lot of them can be made by independent artists, and they're just so cute. They just enhance your life a little bit more. Sometimes you just have to go back to simple pleasures in life. I, for a long time, just wasn't enjoying the simple pleasures. Let's get into that. While I show you how I've been journaling, I will also talk about how I got back into the process of journaling. So where did it all start? As you know, on my channel, I made a lot of bullet journaling videos, but I would say that I was never really the type to have a diary or write out my feelings. I saw journaling and having a diary as separate things. I did bullet journal. I was such a simple setup girl. I got into journaling officially around college time when I actually really needed it. And I also had the time and the creativity and energy to bullet journal. And so I always had setups, and I would make the classic month, week setup, fill out my days, but I used it more more as a schedule. I always just used it to plan out my day, have to-do lists. Was I using it for my feelings and to record how my day was? Not really, but at the time I just didn't need that. I was going about each day, getting all my tasks done. That's what was important to me. That's what I needed. And so at the time, for years, I was bullet journaling, but it was such a good creative outlet for me. I got to use my stickers, think of monthly setup, just craft. I was very hands-on. And so that was a process that worked for so long. I made videos about it, you guys loved it, and I loved it for a long time. But admittedly, something that everyone goes through is growing up. You get older, processes and systems change, and eventually, sometime after college, I think around 2021-ish, maybe 2022, I was slowly trickling away from journaling. It no longer was really serving a purpose. Things were becoming digital. I found online digital systems that were just making the process way more fast and efficient for me. So I no longer was moving towards physical journals. I had all of these physical journals just sitting around and collecting dust. And so I ditched it. I just didn't need it anymore. And so I stopped. I may have made a few more videos of setups and stuff, but again, that was just more for whoever else was journaling. I no longer needed it. But I didn't realize just how much that little activity that I used to love, I didn't realize how much of an impact or importance it had in my life. I would say that journaling is kind of like an ABC of a lot of things that I kind of just ditched and abandoned. My personality, I tend to leave certain things if it doesn't work anymore to focus on things that matter at hand. Journaling is only one example of the many things that I was abandoning because of the changing times, because of my changing life. Journaling, sketching, my webtoon, creative passions, analog activities, all these things that I loved that kind of healed my inner child, helped me be in tune with my inner child. All of that was going out the door because I had to focus on other things. And so I would say for the last maybe 2 to 3 years, the biggest thing that deterred me from journaling, from anything like this, was life just got so chaotic. I was never one to really process my feelings. I kind of just would push them to the side in order to function as a person. I always had to do something instead of feeling things out. And so even when I was bullet journaling, even when I was doing all that, I never really felt the need to have to like write down how my day was, write out my feelings, sit through my feelings. I always thought it was just not a good use of my time. It would be emotionally draining. It would just make things more complicated. And I was always someone that just needed to be in control of stuff. And so my focus went on controlling my circumstances, always, even since I was a kid. But there comes a time in your life where things just go way out of your control. There will be circumstances in life that just are out of your hands, but it is very much a real part of life. And so I was experiencing all of a sudden very real life circumstances that just threw me off so much. And that was going on for, I would say, 2 to 3 years. You could probably notice when I was going through a lot of things. I only noticed very late. I'm not gonna get into details about everything that happened, but there were some obvious things that you might have seen in the past in my videos. And there were just a lot of other complications and a lot of other difficult circumstances that I went through that I won't really get into, but I processed on my own. But if there were times where I wasn't processing anything, I was basically on autopilot mode. I felt out of control a lot, which really threw me off. I love being in control as much as I can of my situations, and there were just many things in life that were out of my control that I really wanted to be in control of, but I was experiencing so many complex emotions. I was experiencing disappointment, resentment, being upset, being hurt, all these complex feelings that I didn't experience when I was younger. And so I think over time, over many months, years, something in me was finally getting tired of just feeling out of control, feeling like I was just going through the emotions, letting life pass by, just trying to survive. I was on survival mode, just trying to get through everything that was being thrown at me. And I think what clicked for me eventually, after all these years of chaos, was that I did not have grounding. I was not grounded. I literally felt like I was flying, trying to escape all these disasters instead of just staying in one place and working through it. Actually asking myself, Nina, how do you feel? Are you actually okay? What is going on? Where are we heading? I was flying for so long, and it took me so long to realize I needed to feel grounded again. And so the biggest thing that I learned at the end of 2025 was that for 2026, I wanted to have more intention and grounding. That's it. Period. And so one of the first steps towards that was getting into a past love of mine, which was journaling. So hopefully by now, I hope that you guys can kind of understand that journaling is a metaphor. It is not the solution that's going to change your life, but it's ABC. You eventually just get to a point in life where you need that thing that makes you feel grounded, that reminds you of good times, or that just regulates your system so that you feel regulated. Self-regulation is so important for you to just function as a human being, and that's something that I just was not doing. I abandoned so many things that made me feel regulated so that I could keep up with everything that was being thrown at me. So the key, don't abandon things, okay? You don't have to abandon or throw away things. You can still incorporate it into your life and make time for what else is coming into your life. Key is balance. It is not black and white. It is not this or that. You can just have a balance of everything. And that's also something that I had to allow for myself, was that even though some people might think that, oh, journaling's a waste of time, drawing's a waste of time, this or that is a waste of time, if it makes you happy at all, if it makes you feel grounded, regulated at all, it's not a waste of time. I thought that I grew out of certain things, that I no longer needed it, that it was a system that no longer worked for me, but it was a system that just needed to be updated. It needed to adjust to the life that I had. It just had to be useful to me again. Didn't have to be something that I just forget about. I can still have it in my life. It just needs to work better. I figured out how to make journaling into something that's actually useful for me. And so I kind of broke it down. I really asked myself, okay, what do I need from journaling? What is it going to add to my life? How is it going to be useful and efficient, practical? Something that always bothered me was I am a very simple person. I don't want to spend hours drawing lines or creating these things, trying to make things look pretty just for the satisfaction of things looking pretty.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I lost my place. There it is. Okay, 15, 16, 17. Dang it! I was off by 1.
Personally, I didn't really care for that. It looks amazing on social media. Journal spreads can be pretty, very intricate. They can be maximalist, minimalist, whatever it is. It's all up to you. You have to find a system that works for you. When I was younger, I would put pressure on myself to have a beautiful spread. It has to have all this washi tape, all these stickers, all these photos, all these designs, blah, blah, blah. For who? For who? That's all I asked myself. I was like, who am I making this journal for? At the time, I was making it for videos, but journaling now, who am I making these journal spreads for? What am I journaling for? It's for me. Okay, and all I need to do is write down my feelings so I can throw out all my feelings, all my thoughts onto paper, let them out. I needed an outlet, and so journaling now became an outlet for me. I was finally writing out my feelings, letting things out instead of holding everything in or putting it in the back of my brain. That no longer was working for me. I had to actually deal with my feelings, check in with myself. Hey Nina, how was your day? Or how did you feel about that? What's working, what's not working? Maybe younger Nina just didn't have to navigate difficult situations or feelings, but older Nina, she had to finally check in with herself, just ask harder questions, let out these feelings so that I just wouldn't hold on to it or it would hit me like a bus on a random day. If there's a day where I want to make a beautiful spread, I will do it. It's a creative outlet as well. But if there are just days where I want to write a little log of how my day was so that I could be reminded of what I did during that day, I'll write it down. I don't need to put stickers. I don't need to make it look pretty. I just need to write it down so that in the future I can look back and be like, oh, that was a nice day. Or, oh, that was a day where I was a little sad. Some of my spreads don't even have color. They don't have stickers or anything. I love jotting down the little things. Even if it's a little task or a little activity I did during the day or just a little observation I made, just writing it down, it's a grounding thing itself to just be able to reflect and sit with the day instead of letting it go by. A big fear of mine that I had for a long time was that time was just slipping away. I was like, how did the week go by already? But when I have time at the end of the day to just write down things that happened during the day, what I liked, what I didn't like, or just how I'm feeling, whatever comes into my mind, if I just write it down, the day just feels so much more real. Life just feels so much more real. And it's something that I was lacking. That's another big thing that I realized from the past few years was my short-term memory was becoming kind of bad. You could ask me about something that happened years ago. I'll tell you about it. But I started to realize it was a problem a few months to a year ago when people would ask me, hey Nina, how's your day? How's your your weekend? Or how was that thing that you recently just did? And I literally couldn't come up with a response because I completely just forgot what happened. I had to be like, oh yeah, how did I feel about that? When I realized that I couldn't engage in those conversations with people and just have simple small talk, I was like, okay, Nina, let's slow things down for a sec. If I wasn't able to explain how my day was literally a day ago, that's something that we probably need to work on. So now I love to have my journal just sitting with me at my desk. And whenever I feel bored, maybe I'm working or studying, I will just take a break and I will write something down. It doesn't really matter to me what I write about. Either I'll write about my day or I'll search up a random prompt, or maybe there's a topic that I really want to dive deeper into. I also love to learn. I also love to learn new things. And so this solved a lot of that. You can search up prompts, but a fun thing that I got into recently as well was this thing right here. I saw this on TikTok. It's the We're Not Really Strangers self-love edition. It is cute and pink. Basically, if you don't have ideas for prompts, which sometimes I run out of ideas, it comes with so many prompts. There are 3 different levels, not sponsored, and I think a little bit of reflection in your life, having time to reflect, it makes you navigate life a little bit better because you're being thoughtful. You're thinking about what worked, what didn't work. I just had to realize I can't always go through life just getting things done. Life is not always about doing things. It's also about thinking for yourself and putting yourself first, and be a friend to yourself. Talk to yourself. You can't just keep making yourself do this and that without actually checking in and seeing how you actually feel about things. I think it's because I always thought of emotions and feelings as things that you could just put aside. Like if it's a sad feeling, oh, I won't deal with it because dealing with a sad feeling is going to take up my energy. It's an inevitable thing. Like I don't have to worry about it. Upsetting things are always going to happen. Let's not worry about it. That's how I navigated my life for so long. And while it works, you're also still a human. You also still have to process through things so that you can move on from it as well. Believe it or not, you're not a robot that can just take something and throw it aside. You still have to do something with it. If you put it here, it doesn't disappear. That feeling, that emotion, that difficult whatever, it builds up no matter who you are. Even if you think you're a person that's very strong, you think you don't cry, you don't get hurt, you're still a human. It's going to build up. You gotta do something with it. Take that feeling, process it, and then throw it out the door. But don't just let it stack up. I was letting it stack up and just not dealing with it, and then all of a sudden you explode. So process your feelings. Journaling is gonna look different for everyone. Everyone has a different purpose or use for it. Some people love junk journaling, some people love making pretty spreads, and then some people just write out a few sentences so they can reflect. If you're journaling, I just hope that you find a method that works for you. What works for someone else might not work for you. Putting the pressure on me to make a beautiful spread. I personally just don't need that. It's pretty to look at. I love when I create something pretty, but it's also not really efficient or practical for me. I use journaling to learn. The topics I'll write about, I will talk about my ideal relationship, burnout, what I did during the day, boundaries, my ins and outs, and then I'll sketch randomly, just it goes in here. Journaling finally became something that is realistic to me. It's not really a bullet journal anymore. I don't really feel the need for bullet journaling, but I tapped into a lot of childhood loves of mine. I got to use my stickers again. I love going to stationery shops again. I am writing with a pen, not just typing things on a device. And for the first time in a very long time, I am finally just acknowledging my feelings and emotions instead of throwing them to the side or intellectualizing them, not thinking of them as important. Your feelings, your emotions, your thoughts are important. Remember that. So getting back into my love of journaling, unfortunately, was that deep. There really is an importance in tuning into your hobbies, tuning into your childhood loves, and not throwing it away completely. You can still enjoy things from your past while embracing the future as well. The digital age, it's non-stop. It's always going to be there. It's changed our lives for the better, for the worse, but I'm just no longer trying to feel sad about changing times. Sometimes what worked in the past can help you with your future as well. Having hobbies you can stick to is just so grounding, so regulating, and on top of that, I found systems that actually work and are up to date with me. I freaking love journaling. It is just something that I hope a lot of people can get back into or into for the first time. But that is going to be it for this video. I hope that this was helpful or useful to you at all, or that this was a nice catch up for us. More videos are to come. I do apologize for my absence. This was quite a long one. It was like 3 months, but I have been doing pretty well, just finding myself again, sorting through things and cleaning up. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see your lovely face in my next video. Let's bring it in for a hug as always. Goodbye, my friends.